Those who want us to continue, please raise your hand. Honorable members, it's a convenient time for us to adjourn, to break for lunch and prayer for an hour. It's now 4 minutes past 3. We can suspend for 1 hour and return 4 minutes past 4. The assembly is now suspended.
Laying of papers and reports continues. Roman 2, report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Offences Bill 2020 by the Honorable Chairperson of the committee.
Honorable, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I would start with acknowledgement. The scrutiny of this bill was extremely very demanding, a very voluminous bill that time-consuming, as it asks or demands for extensive research and consultation. The committee expresses its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for providing an outstanding pool of support staff, ranging from subject matter specialists, clerks, legal officers, researchers, logistics, that enable the committee to carry out exclusively our job. It is important to note that this task would not have been completed without the tremendous effort of the committee during the 5th legislature, which was chaired by the former Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Mariam Jack Denton. The committee is impressed by the diligence of the stakeholders invited and the external subject matter specialists who demonstrated professionalism in the presentations and recommendations to enrich the bill, both content and form. Honorable Speaker, to go to the introduction, I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Offences Bill 2022 for consideration and adoption of the plenary. Honorable Speaker, following the first reading of the bill on the 22nd June 2020, which is a long time ago, and subsequently its second reading on the 13th of July 2020, the bill was referred to the Standing Committee for scrutiny and report to the plenary. Can you imagine that's quite a long time ago, but finally we are here today. However, following this, the dissolution of the 5th legislature and the subsequent composition of the 6th legislature in 2022, the bill was reintroduced by the Honorable Minister of Justice. It was there then referred to the committee to continue the scrutiny. The bill, as clearly reflected in the objects and reasons, seek to align our criminal justice legislation with current trends by moving all provisions inimical to freedom of speech, such as criminal defamation and sedition. In addition, the bill also seeks to close a long-standing legal lacuna by expanding the criminal justice jurisdiction, of the Gambian court to offenses committed by persons outside the country and who thereafter enter the Gambia instead of extraditing them for trial in a foreign state. Honorable Speaker, criminal law is fundamental in society because it provides deterrence, rehabilitation, punishment, protection, and maintaining social order and protecting individual rights and liberties. In fulfilling its mandate, the Standing Committee reached out to the Minister of Justice, the National Human Rights Commission, the Minister of Interior, through the Office of the Inspector General of Police, the Gambia Bar Association, the Gambia Press Union, the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, the Faculty of Law of the University of the Gambia, Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, as well as a host of renowned legal practitioners across the country. The committee reviewed each of the clauses in the bill, and we hereby present our recommendations and observations as detailed below. Honorable Speaker, on mandate, like all other committees of the National Assembly, the Standing Committee derives its mandate from Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia and the Standing Order 124-2, which spells out the mandate of the committee as follows. It shall be the duty of the Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters to scrutinize, consider, deal with matters relating to the Constitution and human rights issues in this country. Honorable Speaker, the methodology applied during the review of this bill, the committee comprehensively adopted substantial methods such as consultations with stakeholders to seek their valuable opinions, review of documents, position papers presented by the invited stakeholders, and convene validation meetings where the honorable members and support staff of the committee sat to review the various submissions, further scrutinize the clauses prepared, and validate the report. Honorable Speaker, as each member is given a copy of this, I will not bore the plenary into recommendations one by one. You all have the copies with them. So I refer members to our recommendations, but with at least read out one or two before I conclude. The committee proposed that Part 2 stands as part of the bill with the following amendments. Clause 3, interpretation. The committee proposed that the following form part of the interpretation section of the bill. Disciplined forces. In paragraph 6, to be defined as armed and security forces. 2, the minister responsible for administration of justice. 3, a civil officer should properly be defined and be in line with the Constitution. 4, sexual act, consider the definition to be in line with the definition of the term in the Sexual Offences Act. Honorable Speaker, like I said, this is full of a lot of recommendations. And as a result, since each members have our recommendations, it's a very bulky document, I will just refer members to the rest of the recommendations. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, Parliament is a democracy Parliament in a democracy is the fundamental pillar in the promulgation of law, criminal laws. Criminal laws protect, serve, and limit human actions, and to help guide human conduct. It simply helps to safeguard the lives and properties of individuals in a state. That said, while giving the committee's blessing to this important bill, it is important for the executive and the legislature to ensure that this as well as the Criminal Procedure Bill, is regularly reviewed to respond to emerging issues. Madam Speaker, I beg to move.
Any seconder? Member for Ken West.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I rise to second the motion, and I would love to do my contribution on the report. I only have one observation in the report, but Honorable Chair, to do justice to the work of the colleague members of Parliament, this is a huge job, and some time ago, members of this particular committee were coming here and sitting here very lately just to ensure that they have a report for us so that we can look at this session. Thank you very much for the sacrifice. This is what we expect from everybody. You have done a very good job. I just have an observation at page 12. Page 12. Page 12, where you have 2. On number 2, it says, any property or sum forfeited by an order of the court shall be dealt with in such a manner as the minister may direct. I hold a view that any property or sum that is forfeited should not be left with the minister to direct how that fund should be dealt with. Any fund that is forfeited should go to consolidated revenue fund. Any fund that concerns our country, that concerns the states, that is national resources, should go to consolidated revenue fund. So to leave that in the hand of the minister, I think we need to look at the best practice to manage resources of the country. There may be procedures as to what you pay from that funds, whatever it takes. But anything that belongs to the state, that fund should not be directed by an individual, an officer. So that should go straight to consolidated revenue fund. So I'm making a recommendation, if that could be changed, instead of having the minister to direct the manner in which that fund would be dealt with, let me have it, that fund go straight to consolidated revenue fund. Any sum or property that is forfeited, if it has been valued, if it has been monetized, let it go straight to consolidated revenue fund before we give it to the minister to direct it. So that's the contribution I have for that one. Honorable Speaker, I've also looked at another recommendation on the page 13. On the page 13, which says the committee proposed that clause 45 stands part of the bill with the following amendments. That the clause be further drafted as a person who incites a member of the Gambia Armed Forces of the Gambia or the Gambia Police Force to A, seduction, or B, disobedience to any lawful order by the superior officer. Commits, it's telling you now, that person who does that commits an offense and is liable to a conviction and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for 5 years.
Yeah, honorable member. Please use your mic, sir. Use your mic, sir. Remember the chair said he's not following. He would like you to
me to the
and please, if members are referencing any book or any note, you may refer members
Yes,
to the particular clause.
that's all right. Page 13 on the recommendation of clause 45. Yes, so the issues that I have cited, anybody who induces or incites a member of Gambia Armed Forces or a Gambia Police Force, seduction or to disobedience any lawful order by a superior officer. It is telling us that the person commits an offense and is liable on conviction to imprisonment for 5 years.
Honorable Chair, may I observe, please, the proceedings? I think there was a motion moved by the member for councillor. No. But you can check. So,
Yeah, technical team, why after his time of you are giving an arbitration again?
We are aware. You know, it has.
I'll give you 30 seconds to wind up.
Honorable Speaker, what I was trying to put across, the imprisonment term for 5 years in this manner is too much. The imprisonment term for 5 years is too much. And how do we substantiate that? Is that to be determined by the court, or just for an investigation to say, this is what you have, or police to investigate, this is what you've done, and you are convicted? Is it going to be determined by the court? For court to determine your imprisonment term for 5 years? So, and for that one also, I will say imprisonment term not more than 5 years. That I'm looking at that. It's because otherwise the court can desire to give you beyond that. So that's what I'm trying to look at for this offense. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, I now put the question. It has been moved and seconded that this Honourable Assembly do consider the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Offences Bill 2020. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honourable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so now by show of constituency tab. Member for Olyndum.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I first of all want to thank the Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. Of course, I am a member of the committee as well. I just wanted to thank my committee members, the leadership of my chairperson, Honorable Member for Serekunda. Yes. I think justice has been done to the report because the Criminal Offences Bill have taken us a longer time to...
Sorry, can you clarify which Serekunda?
Serekunda West.
Okay, thank you very much.
I think the committee have done justice to the bill. It took us several months to deal with the bill, and the recommendations that were brought forward in this report, or that are brought forward in this report, emanates from the principal act that the committee was looking at. So I want to believe that any member who is going to raise concerns on the report must of course look at the principal bill if you want to understand what the recommendations are, because the principal act will tell you most of these things. These are recommendations that were derived from the principal act brought in this report. So it's important that we take note of that. I mean, so that we don't make remarks that are out of, the intention of the report. So personally, I do not have any problem with the report. Having been a member of the committee, we have gone through it. Of course, the secretariat and all members have understand each of the recommendations that we put in the report. But I just wanted to bring to the attention of, other members before they come in. Of course, I know the chair will deal with that they need to understand that there is a principal bill, or a principal bill that you need to look at, or principal act, that you need to look at to understand the recommendations that the committee is trying to bring forward, so that you don't go outside the context of the report. Honorable Speaker, with that few remarks, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Member for Olundum. I now give the floor to the member for Lower Salon.
Honorable, thank you. I withdraw.
Thank you very much, honorable members. May I now call upon the mover to respond to issues raised until end of the debate. The member for Woolies, you may take the floor.
Very short one, because the issue that is raised by Kiang West, member for Kiang West, that I want to say that it is not to be read in isolation. Clause 37, sub 2. Because the beginning of it is saying, 1, if a person is convicted of an offense under any of the following sections, namely section 79, 80, 81, 95, 96, and 97, the court may, in addition to or in lieu of any property penalty which may be imposed, A, order the forfeiture to the state of any property which has passed in connection with the commission of an offense. And B, if the property cannot be forfeited or cannot be found, order such sum to be paid as the court shall assess as the value of the property. Now, the sub 2 is any property or sum forfeited should be connected to the B by order of the court, which has a problem, the minister should direct. That's what it is trying to say. So it's connected to the B. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member for Woolies. May I now call upon the mover of the motion to wind up and respond.
Well, I must thank Honorable Ture Wuli East, because he is a member of the committee. So thank you for responding to that question. So I'm left with only one more issue raised by Honorable Kian West. The issue of whether it's the court that is going to determine, of course, yes. It is the court that will determine and not any other individual. And the minister also is not like the money is going to the minister's pocket, but the minister is only going to direct it. So the necessary steps will be taken, but I can assure you that anything that is forfeited belongs to the state. So it will definitely go to the consolidated form. Thank you. Come again.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member and Chairman of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. Honorable members, I now put the question. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Offences Bill 2020. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Clerk, we may proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. Report Roman 3, report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Procedures Bill 2020 by the Honorable Chairperson of the Committee.
Mr. Speaker, can I go on?
Honorable Chair, please go ahead.
Thank you. Honorable Speaker, the committee expresses its appreciation to the Office of the Clerk for providing us with all the necessary logistics that it takes for us to scrutinize this bill, which is the Criminal Procedure Bill. And the committee is impressed with the diligence and the diligency of all the stakeholders. And the list of members, honorable member, of this committee is my humble self, Honorable Madisisa as the chair, and Honorable Sidi Eskenjai as the vice chair. And we have Honorable Fatima Njai, member, Honorable Swaibu Ture, member, Honorable Yaya Sanya, member, Honorable Ablai Sise, member, Honorable Mohammed Kante, member, Honorable Bakar Kebaji, member, and Honorable Bram J.S. So, member. I must say I'm extremely happy with their performance. It is them, it's because of their efforts, untiring efforts, that we are able to lay these reports today. So I thank the members of the committee. The subject matter specialists were Mrs. Hadi Danenjai Jabi and Mr. Karu O. Sala. Then we have our support staffs, including Halifa M.M. Bai, the Deputy Clerk Legal and Procedural Matters, Mr. Marabi S. Hydra, Director of Committees, Mr. Abubakar Siddiqui Kaba, Director of Legal Affairs, Mr. Mamadou A.M. Ba, Senior Assistant Committee Clerk, Ms. Aissatou Sonko, Committee Clerk, Ms. Mary T. Mendy, Research Officer, Mr. Lamin M. Diba, Senior Legal Officer, and Mr. Tony F. Mendy, Senior Table Clerk. These are some of the support staff that really help us. And we have a list of witnesses ranging from Usei Tomasi, Solicitor General, and Onome Abuoto, Parliamentary Counsel of MOJ, Lamin S. Kamara, Senior Counsel, Private Bar, Emmanuel Juf, Chairperson, National Human Rights Commission, Jundu Drame, National Human Rights Commission, Ablai Sane, Commissioner, Gambia Police Force, Nene MC Cham, Member, General Legal Counsel, Dr. Sekou Gassama, Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission, Matilda Mendy, National Human Rights Commission, Mansour Job, National Human Rights Commission, Mam Demba Job, National Human Rights Commission, Fatou Souley Pen, Senior State Counsel, Minister of Justice, Serin Bamba, State Counsel, Minister of Justice, Kisima Bitey, Senior Legislative Draftsperson, Minister of Justice, Fatou El Jai, Executive Drafter, Sir Omar Jabi, Ali Jabi, Lamin Trawale, Marianne Sen, Christine Boisi, Fatimata Toure, Jeremiah Akemboy, Alpha Baji, and Mariam So. Honorable Speaker, these are all people who have really immensely contributed to the completion of this scrutiny as experts. Honorable Speaker, I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Procedure Bill 2022 for the consideration and adoption of the plenary. Honorable Speaker, following the first reading of the bill on the 22nd of June 2020 and subsequently in the second reading of the 13th July 2020, the bill was referred to the Standing Committee for scrutiny and report to the plenary. However, following the dissolution of the fifth legislature and the subsequent composition of the sixth legislature in 2022, the bill was reintroduced by the Honorable Minister for Justice. It was then referred to the committee to continue its scrutiny. The bill is as clearly reflected in the objects and reasons seek to align our criminal justice, criminal defamation, and sedition. And in addition, the bill also seeks to close a long-standing legal lacuna by expanding the criminal justice jurisdiction of the Gambian courts to offenses committed by persons outside the country and who thereafter enter the country, instead of extraditing them for trial in a foreign state. Honorable Speaker, the criminal law is fundamental in society because it provides deterrence, rehabilitation, punishment, protection, maintaining social order, and protecting individual rights and liberties. In fulfilling its mandate, the Standing Committee reached out to the Minister of Justice, the National Human Rights Commission, the Minister of Interior, through the Office of the Inspector General of Police, the Gambia Bar Association, the Gambia Press Union, and the Association of Non-Governmental Organizations, the Faculty of Law of the Gambia, University of the Gambia, Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, as well as host of renowned legal practitioners across the country. Honorable Speaker, these are all ministries and individuals who have really contributed immensely to the scrutiny of this bill. Like any other committee, the mandate of the committee is derived from the Constitution, Section 109 of the 1997 Constitution, and Standing Order 124, subsection 2, which spell out the mandate of the committee as follows. It shall be the duty of the Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters to scrutinize, consider, and deal with matters relating to the Constitution and human rights. And that is exactly what we have done, Honorable Speaker. And during the review of this bill, the committee comprehensively adopted substantial methods, such as consultations with stakeholders and a lot of other people, the review of documents, position papers, and so on. Honorable Speaker, just like the previous one, which is the criminal offences bill, the criminal procedure bill also, members have copies. And therefore, the committee proposes that this clause stands, that is a short title, that this committee proposes that this clause stands part of the bill with the following amendments. The committee recommends that this act may be cited as the Criminal Procedure Act 2023. And in the section of interpretation, Honorable Speaker, the committee proposes that this clause stands part of the bill without amendment. Honorable Speaker, since honorable members have copies of this, I need not bore them with all reading them for them. They're equally literate like myself, so I refer all honorable members to go through the recommendations of the report. Honorable Speaker, that would take me to the conclusion. The parliament is a democracy. Parliament in a democracy, rather, is the fundamental pillar of the promulgation of criminal law. Criminal laws protect, serve, and limit human actions and to help guide human conduct. It simply helps to safeguard the lives and properties of individuals, Honorable Speaker, in the state. And that said, while giving the committee's blessing to this important bill, it is important for the executive and the legislature to ensure that this, as well as the criminal procedure bill, is regularly reviewed to respond to the emerging issues. Honorable Speaker, with this remarks, I beg to move.
Thank you. Any seconder? Member for Olino and Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I am the right to second the motion. Thank you.
Honourable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honourable Assembly do consider the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Procedures Bill 2020. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honourable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so now by show of constituency type. I now give the floor to the member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I only have an observation on the report. The way the report is drafted, we are a little bit constrained because the changes that are proposed by the committee. For instance, when you move to part 6, preventive actions of the police, it reads, the committee proposes that this part stands as part of the bill with the following amendments. Page 13, with the following amendments. It says, information of design to commit such offenses. The committee recommends that words "her" be changed to "she" in this clause. And when we have that, for the word "her" to be replaced by "she," and we are expecting, and you have to be read as, so that we can look at the whole text that you have made an amendment to look at the match of the words that you have amended. When you recommend that for "her" to be changed as "she" and for that clause to be read as, and you give us that, when we look at that clause, but otherwise you cannot look at it unless you reference it to the principal act, the original act that has been laid here in the parliament. But otherwise, I'm not talking about every clause, but the clauses that you make amendments, particularly on such issues where you have "she," and the other places also, it says the committee proposed that when you look at the prevention relating to all criminal investigations, pleas of trial, it says the committee proposes that this part stands part of the bill, which with the following amendments. That also says trial where place of offenses is uncertain. The committee recommends that "s" be removed from areas to now be area. So that one also, they are just giving us a letter and a word. But when "s" is removed, now for it to be area now, and what happens? Let them give us "and to be read as," so that we can look at it and we know whether definitely it does make much sense. But otherwise, you cannot be able to do that unless you reference it to the principal act that has been laid here. But the report cannot allow you to make any comment on the report because of that. Anything they propose amendments and replace this by this, but how it is read when you replace that by that is not been put to us. That's the observation I want to have, Honorable Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Member for Sabah Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I don't have much to say about this. I think the report is identifying some of the issues that the committee has already looked at, and they want us to note those areas whenever we go to some committee of supply. With this, we cannot just do it now. I think these are some of the recommendations that the committee has, noted as far as this report is concerned. And when we get to committee of supply, that is the time we can input those kind of things. And I think that is what they have addressed in that report. Thank you.
Member for Lower Salem.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just had a suggestion on the report because the bulky of the reports that are given by the ABC, which I am part of, I suggest the table clerk or the office of the clerk to provide soft copy prior to the event, because you can see this we are put in our picking holes during after the adjournment of the house. Most of the members on Fridays they don't have access to come to the parliament. But if before the time, then we can get the soft copy on the way they do it on the system, legislature. It's just a suggestion.
Thank you. The member for Joshua, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I think, I'm in line with some of the suggestions that my colleagues have mentioned with regards to the report. Yes, we've seen a very big thank you to the committee that stood over the report to come up with a very good report. But the same concern being raised by other members. I think I'm suggesting, Honorable Speaker, if possible, because it's good to have reference to what you have in, because if you are given the next day agenda during a weekend when you don't have access to your pigeonhole, it's always a problem. This report needs to be compared with what is given to us as the bill or the act. By looking, comparing the two together, you will know where you are. But the way it is, it's like we're just waiting on the committee of the whole house to see what is possible. But as of now, as we are at this stage, it would have been very wise for you to compare it to and know where to come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joswang, member for Joswang. Now the member for Willis.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Yes, what the member is talking about is like you have to read. You should read this report side by side, referencing it to the bill itself. So if you look at the bill at 58, that is information of design or to commit such offenses. Let me just read the sentence for you. A police officer receiving information of a design to commit a cognizable offense shall communicate the information to the police officer to whom he or her. So we are saying instead of he or her, it should be he or she. That's just the correction. That is it. And any other small thing you see, those are just either grammatical or it is just a typo. So don't worry about them much until we get to the thank you.
Thank you very much, member for Woolly East. May I now call upon the mover to respond to issues raised and wind up the debate.
Well, Honorable Speaker, I think both Honorable Sabaksanja and Woolly East really responded adequately to the doubts of the Honorable Member for Kiawes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Be it resolved that this honorable assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Criminal Procedures Bill 2020. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Clerk, we may proceed.
Laying of papers and reports. Report number Roman 4, report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill 2023 by the Honorable Chairperson of the committee.
Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We follow the same thread, Honorable members. This one is even much less work for me. The committee expresses its appreciation as usual to the Office of the Clerk for all what it takes for the Office of the Clerk to assist us parliamentarians do our job. We say big thanks to the Office of the Clerk. Honorable members, Honorable Speaker, I rise to table before this August Assembly the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill of 2023 for the consideration and adoption of the Assembly. The bill seeks to amend the existing Legal Practitioners Act of 2017, which efficiently addresses the issues of professional misconduct of legal practitioners, legal education, legal aid, and privilege as stated in the object and reasons. Honorable Speaker, the committee reviewed each of the clauses in the amendment bill and hereby present our observations and recommendations as detailed before. Standing Order 69 spells out the mandate of the committee as follows: list out witnesses, hold proceedings, and take evidence from witnesses. Record the opinion of committee on each clause, and schedule of the bill and identify any amendment recommended. C, present amendments in the order in which they stand in the bill. They present a report incorporating the summary of the evidence from the witnesses. The opinion of the committee on the clauses and attach relevant records of minutes of the proceedings of the committee. Honorable Speaker, this is the methodology we use. During the review of the bill, the committee comprehensively adopted substantial methods such as consultation with stakeholders to seek their valuable opinions. We reviewed the documents, position papers presented by invited stakeholders. We convened validation meetings where the honorable members and the support staff of the committee sat to review the various submissions, further scrutinize the clauses, prepare and validate a report. Honorable Speaker, under the proceedings, scrutiny, consideration, findings, and recommendations. On the object and reason of the bill, the opinion of the committee on the object and reason, it is proposed that the object and reasons are as prepared or as presented by the mover during the second reading be adopted to stand part of the bill in the consideration stage. And the short title, the committee proposes that this section stands part of the bill without amendment. Honorable Speaker, just like the previous bills that the committee have dealt with, each members are given our recommendations, so therefore I will just take you through one or two, and the rest I refer the members to those recommendations. The committee proposed that this section stands part of the bill with the following amendment: that the phrase "and extremely" in the definition of the indigent person be removed and "a" be added, and now be read as "indigent person means a poor person." Honorable Speaker, after taking you through and the plenary to one of the recommendations, I refer the plenary to the rest of our recommendations and move to the conclusion. In conclusion, in view of the above mentioned observations and recommendations, the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters hereby submit this report for the consideration and adoption by this August Assembly, and for the proposed recommendations to stand as part of the bill. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you. Any second? The member for Sabasanja.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and also to thank the chairman of the State Committee for definitely doing a very wonderful job to make sure that they look at every clause of that particular bill and also to report back to plenary. We have seen that they have done a very good job considering the report, and other reports that have been tabled today by the State Chairman. We thank you very much, and also for using your experience not to waste the time of the Parliament.
Thank you very much. It has been moved and seconded that this Assembly do consider the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so now by show of constituency card. Catch my eye. Honorable member, I'm not sure whether it's unfortunate or fortunately, you have no issues, no point, but matter of procedure, I'll call you to respond to issues and wind up the debate.
Honorable Speaker, I honestly thank the plenary for having listened to us and then welcoming our method of presentation. Thank you.
It's 5:30. A member for Ponyomi.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I rise to move a motion that the Assembly sit beyond 6 o'clock to complete business. Thank you.
Any second? Member for Olindum.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
It has been moved and seconded that the assembly sit beyond.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes.
counter motion.
No. Please
Yes,
switch
put
off
a
your
question,
mic.
then I will raise mine.
Switch off your mic, please. It has been moved and seconded that the assembly sit beyond 6 to finish business on the other paper for today. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it.
Speaker, counter motion. Motion. Motion.
No, Honorable.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, already you have made
Kian West, you call for division.
Oh, no, wait, Honorable Speaker, I think you have already made the ruling that he has had it. If he has anything to say, let him call for division. We vote. But there is no motion to him to raise again.
Honorable member for Kiang West, please put off your mic. Honorable member for Kiang West, please take your seat and stop disrupting this assembly.
Who disrupted parliament?
Put off your mic.
Say please.
Honorable member for Kiang West, please put off your mic and do sit down. Let's continue, please. Be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Standing Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters on the Legal Practitioners Amendment Bill 2023. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Clerk, we may proceed.
Thank you. Report of the Joint Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, the Local Government, Lands and IC and Ombudsman Committee on the Elections Bill 2021 by the Honorable Co-Chairpersons of the Joint Committee.
Who is the co-chairperson?
Yes, thank
Who's
you very
the
much. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's the member, that's the chairman of the Local Government, Lands, IEC, and Ombudsman.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of my co-chair, Honorable, the member for Serekunda West, and the entire Joint Committee, I want to allow the member for Wuli East to lay the report, please, because they were the ones who were here during the 5th legislature. Thank you very much.
The member for Wuli East, you may have the floor to do your presentation.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Don't forget to use your experience.
Yes, thank you very much for giving me the floor, and thank you very much, Honorable Chair, for allowing me to table this report. Honorable Chair, I'm just going to be reading the most relevant sections of the report.
You are addressing the chair. Just address me, not address any of the chairs.
Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, the electoral bill or election bill 2021, as it was presented to us, seeks to introduce new regulations for the conduct of elections in the Gambia, and if enacted, it shall be the primary legal framework to guide the Independent Electoral Commission in discharging its mandate to conduct free, fair, and credible elections. 4, introduction. So in fulfilling its mandate, the Joint Committee in the 5th legislature reached out to members of the general public across the country throughout the 8 administrative areas of the country. The committee received several communications containing suggestions from various political parties, organizations, individuals, and experts. The committee equally considered documents received during this scrutiny of the bill. Furthermore, during its meetings, the committee heard the views of the Ministry of Justice, the Independent Electoral Commission, the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, the Ministry of Lands and Regional Government, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Human Rights, and the personnel of the various area councils. So as you can see, the mandate is the same as all other committees while we scrutinize the bill. Honorable Speaker, I'll just go to a few areas that I feel is a bit controversial so that the members can have that in mind and make up their minds so that when they come on the day when we are going to look at the consideration, they'll be able to come up with their ideas. Coalition. We insist that coalition be defined, and it is proposed here that this is a group of registered political parties and individuals who come together with a signed agreement deposited with the IEC to put up a candidate at an election.
What is coalition?
Coalition. 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 A group of registered political parties and individuals who come together with a signed agreement deposited with the IEC to put up a candidate at an election.
Oh, okay, coalition, yeah. Okay.
That's a definition. And this definition is provided to us by the IEC. Now, we also look at demonstration. We feel that demonstrations should also be defined. And it is defined here as proposed. This is a public march of a political party or candidate and their members and supporters demanding a change of an electoral issue or matter. And procession is also mentioned in the bill, and it means here that it's a public march of a coalition, political party or candidate and their members and supporters canvassing for votes during an election campaign. Honorable Speaker, we went further to, when you look at clause 3, application, we recommend that after various deliberation and considerations, the Joint Committee recommends that clause 3.3 be expunged from the bill. And that is about the scope of the bill, elections, it equally sought to invalidate the existing register of VAT. You know, once this comes into being, the existing register will be invalidated. And clause 5, Honorable Speaker, that is appointment of Chief Electoral Officer, which became a contentious issue there. And they put criteria there. All what we do is to increase the criteria, which includes not just infirmity, but serious misconduct, including failing or refusing to participate in the work of the commission without due cause.
Yeah, he's the mover, so give him more time. Please continue, Honorable.
Yes, and the second one is failure to disclose a conflict of interest in any decision of the commission will also make him or her to lose his or her post. And violation of the Constitution or any other law, incompetence, bankruptcy, conviction of any felony or any other offense involving dishonesty, or G, non-involvement in a political party. Chief electoral officers should not participate in any political activity or join any political party. Well, Honorable Speaker, when you move to clause 10, we made the recommendation that following lengthy deliberation on the clause, the committee proposes that clause 10 stands part of the bill, and that is also relating to electoral commission should continue to perform the function of demarcating electoral boundaries. The Constitution is saying in the absence of the commission that should be established by an act of National Assembly, the IEC should do the demarcation. And that's all that we are trying to concretize here. So we can go all the way to clause 13C, 2D of the bill, which provides part of the document required for one to register. Attestation from an alcalo or chief. If you read it, you will see that the proposal was for an alcalo and chief to attest. But our recommendation is that we delete chief and only the alcalo will attest, and the IEC will come up with their regulations as to what format that will take. Page 9. Page 9. Now, when you go to clause 14, registration of Gambians living abroad is another issue which was contentious. We are saying the Independent Electoral Commission submitted its verbal proposal on the said clause, indicating that subjecting the Commission to consultation with inter-party committee and cabinet may undermine its independence, and thus propose that this aspect of the clause be removed and replaced with a more appropriate authority. So our proposal is that instead of the inter-party being consulted, it is the National Assembly that should be consulted. When you look at page 10, line 2, that the phrase inter-party committee and cabinet under clause 14.2 be removed and replaced with the National Assembly. So now when they are dealing with that part of the laws, they should consult the National Assembly instead. Now, clause 16, the clause provides for continuous registration of eligible Gambians as voters across the country. The practice used to be timed. It's like quarterly or every 3 years or so, they will go into registration. Now they want to adopt continuous registration. It is the opinion of the committee that the provision is sufficiently drafted. However, the committee proposes that the phrase "at least" under clause 16.4 of the bill be deleted. So, section 35 of the Elections Decree 1995 provides for the transfer of place constituency of registration and required persons who are interested to do so to pay a cost to be prescribed by the IEC under section 35.2. The said section was amended by Act number 6 of 2015. Honorable Speaker, we can go, let me take you all the way to page 12. And in page 12 is clause 37, which is dealing with miscellaneous provisions on registers. Clause 37 deals with miscellaneous provision on registers. It outlines, among other things, the time frame within which voters register shall be deemed to be in force, thus and mandates the Commission to undertake certain administrative functions for foreseeable elections, among other things. Having examined the said clause and reviewed the evidence presented before it, the committee observed, in its opinion, that the said clause is sufficiently drafted. However, it recommends a few but crucial amendments to the said clause as follows. So the recommendation, we are proposing that both soft and hard copies of the master register under clause 37.2b be made available for free to all political parties registered under the Act. 2, that the following be inserted under the clause 3.2, political parties shall pay a cost when it requests for extra hard copy of the master register. The proposal there was that, whatever register that is provided to political parties, they will pay for it. And this recommendation is saying the first copy, master copy, will not be paid, but any additional copy any party wants to do, well, you will have to pay for it. That's our recommendation. Yeah. And context, clause 38, that is replacement of voters, is also contentious. And yes, so that some are proposing that we pay, others are proposing that let them not pay. But anyway, we have come up with a recommendation which says that a certain amount should be paid when you are replacing your voter's card. So, Honorable Speaker, we can continue and go all the way to clause 42, nomination time and criteria. As far as time is concerned, we've consulted the people across the country, and we've also consulted the IEC, and we've agreed with the time frames that are given to us by the IEC. Most of the recommendations here you see from the time frame, they look at the time frame during elections, and they've given us those recommendations, and we just adopt that because they are in the practice. They are implementing it. You can see nomination of presidency should be raised, okay? Now, instead of 8 a.m., he's saying elections will commence at 8 a.m. and end at 4. We're saying they don't want to conduct elections when it is dark. It's not safe. And that the number of nomination votes required under clause 42(2) be amended as follows. That 42(2), a nomination of presidency should be raised to 10,000 voters. That's their recommendation. That when you want to nominate as a president, you need to have 10,000 voters to know that at least you have some support before you will just waste their resources. Yes, and nomination of member for National Assembly, we maintain it at 300. And nomination of mayor or chairperson be reduced from not less than 100 voters to not less than 1,000 voters from within. But we've made our recommendations, and I think those are the, yes. So if you come down, you will see that the sum proposed under clause 43(1), that is deposits. These are our recommendations here. You can all look at it. 43(1)(a), we are recommending as a committee that presidential candidates deposit $1 million. And for National Assembly members, we are doubling it from 5,000 to 10,000 because of the inflation. And mayor and mayoress and chairpersons is also doubled to 6,000. Why are you paying deposits? You are just paying deposits. What is the use of paying deposits? We don't see any use of paying deposits. And for councillorship, that is put at 3,000, considering the income of the young people in the country who usually perform in that place. Honorable Speaker, we can continue. Just trying to give you perspective of certain areas so that you know that so many things have been changed. Yeah. Yes. Honorable Speaker, on page 26, let's go to 26, holding a demonstration or procession. Having examined clause 88 and reviewed the evidence presented before it, the committee proposed the following amendments. Recommendation that the word rally be added to the title of the clause to read as holding a demonstration, procession, or rally. There is a mistake there. It should have been procession. What they put there is procession. And 2, under clause 88.3, or rally to be added after procession and or before procession to be deleted. So that is the recommendation there. And then we can continue. On clause 107, that's page 28. That is trial of election petition. Having examined clause 101 and reviewed the evidence presented before it, the committee proposed the following amendments. That in clause 101(2), general amendment on ballot box drum be effected. The IEC has been complaining that they could not hold elections in the diaspora because they cannot carry all these ballot boxes and all these things, tokens, to various countries. It will be a big challenge. In fact, it's a big challenge, and that is the reason why. So throughout the bill, we are proposing that wherever there is token, we also put ballot drum to give opportunity to the IEC to conduct elections wherever they feel it is feasible to to use ballot, they use ballot. Wherever it is feasible for them to use paper, they use paper, so that the diaspora will participate in elections. So we've agreed that with them, and that's what we have proposed.
Chair, Chair, I'm not clear. You mean if the bill comes in the force, they'll be using board papers and tokens?
But the IEC want to ballot box, but because it is not yet approved, if they put only one, it may cause problems. So we just put ballot box. Yeah, we put ballot drum and ballot paper. Stroke ballot paper. That they can decide whatever they want to use, depending on what is feasible for them at each given time.
No, I wanted to be clear. You said where it's feasible for them to use the ballot paper, they use it. For the marble, they use it. Meaning you are recommending for both to be used at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Register of political parties, where it is applicable. Having examined clause 107 and reviewed the evidence presented, the committee proposed the following. Yes, that is registration. The contentious issue is that in clause 3. In clause 107(2)H, the registration fee of 1 million should be increased to $2 million. That is the recommendation of the committee. If you are registering a political party, you pay $2 million. You want me to read, but if I read, it will take a lot of time. Yeah. Yes, we go to clause 64, 139. That is on page 31. Yes, page 31. Communication with voters at polling station. Yes, the communication with voters at polling station. Our recommendation there is what was in the bill was security officer. That in clause 139(1), security officer be amended to police officer, so that there is no confusion between, some people may think that any other security officer can do it. So now we want just the police officer. And 2, the word blind be replaced with visually impaired. We are not using blind anymore. That's derogatory. Yeah, and then we will finish the recommendations. Yes, Honorable Speaker. The bill is important and crucial in the Gambia's transition and solidification of democratic rule. Page 34. It is important because government belongs to the people, thus requiring the people to serve in that government. Needless to say, it is incumbent upon the state to promulgate rules that prescribe how the electoral system operates, method of voting, class of citizens entitled to vote and be voted for, how to be voted into various offices, who conducts the electoral process, and the resources required to conduct various elections needed to fill elective public offices. By introducing this bill, the executive recognizes its role and sought to better the electoral system. Now the burden is on the legislature to duly and faithfully execute its mandate to the people of the Gambia. It is equally important to point out that laws in general, and particularly electoral laws, are the bedrock of the state's existence. To affirm the legitimacy of governments and the peaceful coexistence of the state, this assembly must not lose sight of this fact. This is one of the most important documents that we can deal with here. Therefore, care and consciousness should be applied in the scrutiny and approval of the laws before us. It is also important to remind this honorable assembly that other stakeholders that there is a need to periodically review these laws to either respond to emerging issues or address some of the lapses and loopholes. and we must do so considering the contemporary demand of our society and governance process. Once again, I thank the members of the Joint Committee, Local Regional Government, and the Human Rights Committee, the staff of the National Assembly attached to the Joint Committee, both former and present, Office of the Clerk, subject matter specialists, the civil society organizations, and Gambians of all walks of life, including the political parties, and their invaluable contribution in providing opinions and guiding the Joint Committee to reach its recommendation. We also thank the ordinary citizens across the country who have also given us their view of the bill. And you can see the members, the composition of the Joint Committee. I think you have all seen that. There is no need maybe to read that. And then the support staff is also mentioned. Mr. Marabi Hes Aydra, Mr. Abubakar Siddiq Kaba, Mrs. Fatou Jiba, Ms. Aissatou Sonko, Ms. Fatoumata Keita, Mr. Mamadou Mba, Ms. Fatoumata Sisao, Ms. Mary T. Mendy, Mr. Lamin Diba Esquire, Mr. Tony F. Mendy. These people have done a lot of work, so we commend them for all the work that they have done. Our subject matter specialist, Mrs. Hadi Dandin Jai Esquire, Mr. Kanu Salla, or Karu Salla, Mr. Chernobi Jallo, and Mr. Ablai Bondi. The composition of the rest of the committee members are there for your perusal. It will be interesting to mention political parties that have contributed to this. They've all given us papers, or they come to meet us to give us their view. Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction, APRC, Citizens Alliance, CA, Gambia for All, GFA, Gambia Moral Congress, GMC, Gambia Party for Democracy and Progress, GPDP, Gambia Action Party, GAP, GAP, Gambia Democratic Congress, GDC, National Reconciliation Party, NRP, National People's Party, NPP, People's Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism, DOI, People's Progressive Party, PPP, United Democratic Party, UDP, Inter-Party Committee also gave us their view. And the following institutions have also contributed. You can see all of them. It is important to, because these people live all the way from the provinces to come and meet us quickly. Independent Electoral Commission, National Human Rights Commission, Gambia Public Procurement Agency, Banjul City Council, Kanifi Municipal Council, Brikama Area Council, Basse Area Council, Mansakongo Area Council, Kerewan Area Council, Kuntauru Area Council, Janjambure Area Council, Gambia Association of Local Government Authorities, CSO Coalition on Election, Action Aid the Gambia, West Africa Network for Peace Building, Migration and Sustainable Development Goal Project, Diaspora Gambia, Gambia Federation for the Disabled, National Democratic Institute. Honorable Speaker, we thank your office. We also thank the National Assembly Service for facilitating all the process for this report to be laid here today. Thank you very much.
Member for All Yundum and Deputy Majority Leader.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and of course, also wanted to highlight some observation from the report tabled by the Joint Committee on Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, as well as the Local Government Committee. Honorable Speaker, the report is good. The structure is very good. I think they've highlighted most of the things that are in the elections bill. Having had, consultation with relevant stakeholders from both in the Gambia and outside, I think they have done a very good job. One of the observations I wanted to highlight, perhaps I know I was supposed to be part of the committee, members were supposed to look at the bill, but unfortunately I wasn't, so I need some explanation. On one of the recommendations made by the committee, where on page 16, on the section 43(1), the committee recommended that the the amount for deposit for the president to be increased from, I think it was 10,000 now to almost $1 million. So the one for the National Assembly member from 5,000 to $10,000. So I just want the justification for that. Why do we have to increase the one for the president from 10,000 to 1 million? If you look at the percentage. Well, okay, 5,000 to 500,000. Yeah, 500. Okay, 50% to 1 million. And the one for National Assembly member from 5,000 to $10,000. So I just wanted to recommend, because I'm not saying because I'm in the parliament that we need to increase so that other people will not have the chance to come, but we need to look at these things very critically. The amount that is paid for deposit is not much, but also can serve as a very good measure for certain things as far as the IEC is also concerned. So I just want explanation, the rationale behind adding, increasing the amount deposit for the president from 500 to 1 million, and then the National Assembly from 5,000 to 10,000, given the fact that they are both, no, it's not that. It's from 500,000 to 1 million, of course. Maybe the mover of the motion will respond to that. You understand what I mean?
Honorable for Olindum, what, 500,000 or 10,000 for president?
No, of course, on the report is mentioned, is only the amount that has been increased. The proposed amount now is 1 million. So they did not mention how much was the deposit.
Yeah, and deposit was 10,000.
Okay, that's what I said before. For the presidency?
For president, yes.
So from 10,000 to 1 million. And then the one for the National Assembly members were from 5,000, I think, to 10,000 now. So the difference is too much. We need to look at that. We should be able to look at that. I think that is one of the observations I made. And then the one for the mayoral and the chairperson also, I don't know from what amount before, now to 6,000. Also, we need to look. Are we adding by percentage, or are we only looking at the amount, the figure, and you said the figure for the deposit for presidency, member of parliament, chairperson, and mayors and councillors? If we are taking it by percentage, of course, we need to look at it. What is the percentage for presidency from 5,000 to what amount? And what is going to be the percentage for National Assembly member from 5,000 to what other amount? That is how I wanted to, what I wanted to ask. Maybe you can dilate on that more. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Olindum and Deputy Majority Leader. It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the Joint Committee of Human Rights and Constitutional Matters and Local Government, Lands, IEC, and Ombudsman on the Election Bill 2021. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, any honorable member who wishes to take part in the debate may do so now by show of tag. Beginning with the member for Kiang West.
I want to thank the committee for giving us this bill today. This bill is so dear to me and to a lot of Gambians, because if you look at the stakeholders that we are interacted with, definitely that tells you how important this bill is to the democracy of this country, to ensure good governance in this country, to ensure sufficient political participation. Honorable members of parliament, at this juncture, it reminds me of a lot, but however, what is more important in ensuring that we have free and fair elections, and we have competent leadership for our country? I have not heard that. If the mover of the motion could remind me of any clause or where we talk about the qualification for candidature. The qualification for candidature of a National Assembly membership is only English proficiency. Proficiency in English. That's the qualification to come here and decide for this country. That needs to be looked at. It's unfair to citizens. Honorable Speaker, let us not be very stringent to deny people from representation who have an ability to. But at least we should be able to set a minimum standard that members could attain to come here and represent citizens. Decisions, if this bill is passed any day, which means we have decided for this country. We have decided for this country as to how elections should be conducted, as to how the commission would be constituted, and every other thing that governs election. And without a proper election law, we cannot have a free and a fair election. And there will always be chaos. There will be no trust between leadership and the rules. So I suggest that for the presidency and that of the National Assembly membership, for the bar to be raised a little bit higher. At least a higher national diploma or a degree, first degree, would be better. Or a higher national diploma could at least be better. But just English proficiency to come and decide for the country. Bills are coming, we are not looking at them sufficiently. Budgets are coming that decides the lives of the people. We're not looking at them sufficiently because of the mastery of the area, or our understanding of the subject matter is limited because of the capacity gap. Sometimes you would all agree with me, if you travel outside the jurisdiction of this country, you interact with other members of parliament. I could remember during our engagement with the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation, somebody told us that most of the members, what I have observed from you, your debate is not on evidence-based. You can only debate on evidence-based when you understand the subject matter. And this needs to be taken care of if we want to have a sufficient leadership for this country. A leadership that does not concentrate on politics, but that concentrates on national building. We need to have this. This is what is more important and more substantial today. This is why people can go out there and they don't tell anything to people, but just to tell NPP has done this, UDP has done this, but they cannot tell exactly what affects their daily life, what affects their health, what affects their infrastructure, what affects their agriculture, what affects their education. They cannot tell them because they don't know. They can only go into their houses and give them monies at late night, and they are voted in office and come here. They cannot decide for the country. Is unfair. It's unfair. So let's raise the bar a little bit so that we have people here who represent the country, so that we will all be happy. We will all be happy. Decisions can be decided for the country, not emotional based, not on partisan line, not on political line, but for the interests of the country, and you can understand what you're talking about. Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you very much, member for Kiang West. I now give the floor to the member for Nyaniga.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And then I want to thank the committee, just the joint committee rather, doing a very good job. I can remember this bill have been in Parliament since the last legislature. Coming today, seeing the report from the joint committee, of course, I want to thank you. Not forgetting the previous committee members rather. That is in the 5th legislature, the Human Rights Committee and that of the Local Government Committee. They started the process, and unfortunately they couldn't finish it, but they have done something too. So your efforts is hereby acknowledged. Honorable Speaker, what we are looking at here today is a very important report coming from engagement from the Standing Committee on Human Rights and of course the Select Committee on Local Government, and a very important bill, that is the Elections Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, there are many legislation that will come here, but as far as democracy and democratization processes are concerned, this is one of the most important bills that will ever come here. There are a lot of issues that the committee highlights based on the different clauses and based on their engagements. And then the issues varies from one to the other. But of course, I want to thank you for the extensive engagement, because I have seen a lot of stakeholders being involved, both from the government, from the civil society, and of course, from the people that we represent. So I thank you so much for the engagement. Your efforts are really acknowledged. I just have some few issues that I definitely want to highlight, whether we can consider amending in the report, because I know we will come to the Committee of Supply when we are doing the consideration. First of all, I know many people are talking about, that's the issue of deposit. It is important for us to speak the current realities, as things were yesterday, they are different from today, especially with regards to inflation rates, monetary value, and so on. It is very easy for someone today to just acquire $10,000 and say, I'm going to deposit and run for presidential or whatever. I think these are issues that we need to consider. I'm seeing a recommendation of $1 million. I think it should be amended to be another significant figure, sort of like 2 million, because it's not, to be a president is not a child's play. You definitely have to be up to the task, both financially and of course, both mentally as the Constitution dictates. So National Assembly, I'm seeing an allocation and suggestion of 10,000. I will recommend that we go at least 100,000 minimum, at least. And this follows suits in orders like the local government for the chairperson, the council chairperson, one can say 50,000. And so these are my recommendations that can be considered. I'm proposing amendments. Yes, please follow your standing orders, understand the rules and procedure as far as reports of this nature are concerned, please. For the other issue that I don't agree with the report, that is the issue of nomination requirement. I think this is a very important issue. Let us remember one thing, constituencies are different. I come from a constituency that I have a voter population of 5,000 plus. Others come from constituencies that have a voter population of 40,000. For 40,000. You can tell me a 40,000 voter population, you just need 300 voters to nominate you. A constituency of 5,000, you need 300 voters to nominate you. It does not match as far as I am concerned. So what I'll propose is we put it in percentage. Let's say 10% of the voters, 5% of the voters to nominate you. And thereby we will have a balanced nomination. But I will struggle in my small constituency.
You have 1 minute to wrap up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will struggle to have, let's say, 1,000 voters in Nyanija to be nominated. Like if you have, let's say, more candidates also. But like if you say a percentage, it will be evenly distributed in all the constituencies. And this applies, it can be applied to even the presidential percentage of voters. This is what should be captured as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for the 1 minute.
Thank you. I decided to give him 1 minute because he's my boss, so I am scared. Yes. Thank you very much, Member for Nyanija. I now give the floor to the member for Fonyi Jaro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I commend the Committee on Regional Government report, the Joint Committee on Regional Government, Lands, Ombudsman, and IEC, Human Rights and Constitutional Matters, for a job well done. I don't have much to say. Going by your report, I'm just looking at your interpretations of some of the words, like you mentioned their coalition. I think, well, where you conclude, you should not conclude there, because the purpose of the coalition coming together, the intent here is to remove the incumbent. So just continue to put that to remove, with the purpose of removing the incumbent. Because that's the purpose why they are coming together. Because when they did not win independently, so now they want to come together to remove. And on the side of the setting standards, I would disagree. We're talking about democracy, and then democracy is all about equal opportunities. So when we say we want to give equal opportunities to all the people, we cannot set standard for that. I think that's the responsibility of the political parties, to know who is representing them. So, but not us to set standards here, who should be coming here. At least political parties should know who are we going to select to represent us, so that when they come, competence would be judged here. So I think we have to leave it open to that. I think if parties don't know that they should select a competent person, then it's not our fault to know who should be coming here. I think we can leave it there. And on the nomination requirements, well, I don't know. When you say nomination requirements, the 300 there, and then what the person should have in order to be nominated. And then sometimes you look at the number of people also who are coming out. Like we are saying, a small constituency like my Pony Jarol. So last time, about 9 members want to contest. The last number to contest was 7. Each was asked about 300, and it's not going to be repeated. 300 multiplied by 7 is about how many? You are talking about 2,100. Some of them are not even there, and then the total number of voters is less than 5,000. So I think the number there is okay. We have to look at it. So I think I'll leave everything till when we come back to the committee of what? Supply. Then I'll supply more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the member for Nijaro. I'm not sure what you're going to supply. There are a lot of good things that you can supply from Fonyi. I now invite the member for Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the mover of the report and the entire membership of the committee for a job well done. Honorable Speaker, I have one observation of which I want some more clarification from the mover. According to the report, the committee received position papers from the inter-party committee and some political parties and CSOs. You've indicated that you've received position papers, of which the report didn't highlight any of their recommendations, or of which I would want you to elaborate more and give us some clue of their position papers. Thank you.
Thank you, member for Bakau. I now give the floor to the member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Again, I also want to thank the Joint Committee, the Committee on Regional Government, Land, IC, and Ombudsman, and that of the Human Rights Committee. I think this is a hectic job. It entails a lot of engagement in and outside the country. And almost you can look at the number of stakeholders that are identified to interact with them about a legislation that need to guide the country in recruiting some of the future politicians and even the government of the country. It's a very important job. It's always difficult for us to be at the same wavelength in terms of understanding. Going forward also, you will agree with me that some of the laws are very diverse and people virtually will not agree on them. But there is 2 areas where I want to lay emphasis. The other one is about the issue of attestation. I think this has been a very serious gateway for a region, and this has been a problem. As a serious country, a mature adult of 18 years should be prepared to have the vital documents that will allow you to register, rather than somebody somewhere to attest you. In the report, they have removed the alkali, the chief. It's only the alkali that is maintained. But there are certain areas, legible Gambians or bona fide citizens of this country will come to that area without the notice of the alkali. So these are issues, sometimes it creates a lot of problems. And I think this is one of the fundamental problems that always result to political chaos. And for us as a country, if we want to avoid this, the issue of conflict in our electoral process, the issue of attestation should go up. I know it's not going to be easy. I happen to be part of the team that went around in the country in 2020 for us to engage them on this issue, but it was highly contentious. Even at community level, people challenge it, some will support it. And the other one I want to talk is the diaspora voting. the committee is recommending where feasible, and who determined that? I think we need to come out with a clear-cut approach. How are we going to bring in diaspora to vote in our elections? But not telling us where feasible. Who determined it? Because we are using token, whether both token and we are going to apply both token and ballot voting, paper voting. So these are the issues that we have to look at it so that we can decide. And I know if we go to the committee of consideration, it's not going to be easy for us to agree. But remember, we are designing this legislation for the future electoral process that are coming in. So we have to be extra careful. I know it was consultative, but still, before we go to the committee of supply, we need to have thorough engagement individually at our respective constituencies. And even if you believe that you have experts that are very much au fait with the electoral process, and see what is feasible in the Gambia. But some of them, these two areas need to be very much clear before we go to the committee of supply. The issue of attestation and the diaspora voting. On that note, I thank you.
Thank you very much, member for Brikama South. I now give the floor to the member for Nyani.
Honorable Speaker, I've withdrawn.
Thank you. Member for Serekunda, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We are all given the right to contest for public office as per the dictates of the Constitution. Section 26 of the Constitution states, if I may read, every citizen of the Gambia of full age and capacity shall have the right without unreasonable restrictions to take part in the conduct of public affairs directly or through freely chosen representative. B, to vote and stand for elections at genuine periodic elections for public office, which elections shall be by universal and equal suffrage and be held by secret ballot. So on that note, just because we have the powers to set standards and set the bar too high that may contravene the laws of the Gambia. We have heard some people are saying educational standards. Most of the African countries are doing away with that because it's a borrowed language. And what determines intelligence? What determines intelligence? Going to school, passing your exams, is that what is intelligence? And most of the formulas today that we are learning in the universities, in schools, were discovered by uneducated people, like the Pythagoras theorem. Honorable Speaker, elections is about building a society, understanding your society. Let's not degrade our people who does not have the opportunity to go to school like we did. Honorable Speaker, what we are saying here, I feel that the bar, we are setting it too high by attaching a lump sum amount of money to contest. And it is also somehow, I am disappointed to hear from some of the second-time members in these chambers trying to raise the amount. What are you afraid of? Let's give other people the chance to contest, Honorable Speaker. For me, I'm not afraid. If I come here next time, that will be the decision of my people. If I don't come here, I will continue my journey to help my country to grow out of poverty. Honorable Speaker, so my advice to the committee is to revisit that it is on clause 43 regarding to payment of deposit. So on that note, I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, member for Serekunda. I now recognize the member for Sanementre.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. First, I will thank the mover of the report and equally thank their support staff as well as committee clerks and whosoever they might have interacted with by giving us a comprehensive report. Honorable Speaker, having looked at the report, there are a few points that I have observed, and this I want to deliberate on. Honorable Speaker, first is the duration of the vote from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Honorable Speaker, I propose, or I suggest when we come to Committee of Supply, we look at this seriously, because from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., I think that time is very, very limited. Because when we look at other elections, from the presidential to the parliamentary, and of course the local government elections, at times we vote till 8 p.m. It happens sometime ago, the presidential election. From 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., so I think this one we need to look at it properly and even adjust the time, if not from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it should not go to 8 to 4 p.m. Also, the rights to vote or right to vote for our citizens in diaspora. Honorable Speaker, I think this is long overdue. It is long overdue that these are citizens of this country and they have right to vote, like children have right to play. It is their right to vote, and they should have all right to vote. And the IEC and of course the Parliament should come up with the most feasible time, transparency, and affordable way for the people of diaspora to come in and vote or to vote. Honorable Speaker, I tend to concur with Honorable Member of Olyundum constituency in adjusting the deposit for about 50%. Why do we have to do that, Honorable Speaker? Adjusting it to 50%, I don't think this is fair to the citizens of this country. We are National Assembly members, and we need to enact laws that will empower the citizens of this country in the most effective way, but not ways that will distract them, not ways that will stop them from paying what they're supposed to pay in order to enter this parliament or to become a president of this country, Honorable Speaker. I think 50%, Honorable Member of Olyundum, thank you very much for coming up with that suggestion of being 50% or increment of 50% is on a high rate. Honorable Speaker, I will also differ with Honorable Member of Nyanija. Honorable Member of Nyanija, I don't think it is justifiable for the high increment of deposit that we propose. I know it's a proposal. You can even come up with 50 million if you want. But then I think this is not on a fair side. We need to look at this properly and then be fair to the people of our citizens. I don't say you're not fair to the people of your country, but then let's look at it at the right way. Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I now give the floor to the member for Joshua.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. And I also join my colleagues to thank the committees who were responsible of this report. Honorable Speaker, to start with, I don't know whether I didn't go through the whole page, but it's like among their recommendations, I haven't seen anywhere they mention the use of local language in National Assembly, which is very, very important. I think it should have been part of the recommendation that we should use local language in National Assembly. The reason being, Honorable Speaker, is very clear. Yes, we are here talking, but who are the people down there listening to us? How many of us are educated who are there listening to us debating here? Most of them, they are not educated. So the issue of setting standards or giving that qualification to people coming to this assembly should not be something that we should even discuss here per se. There are people who are not lucky to go to English schools. There are people who are attending Arabic schools, and they are well educated. They have the wisdom. We have seen businessmen who have not even been to school, and they have established very good business. So where is the qualification that we are looking at here? I think it is important we always consider those poor people living with us and who are also trying to be here as we are here today, not only because of qualification, but because of Allah destined us to be here. But let's consider them as people that should be here. They're not even setting qualifications to say we want PhD holders, we want degree holders to be here. If they can speak the language, let them come here. Even if we are to change, let's change the language from English to the local language. Why not this language? Of this one language can be used here at the parliament. Honorable Speaker, the issue of the ballot paper, I think we need to look at this thing properly. Not what they are doing outside is fit for this country. Even the marble that we are using, at times we always see people who go to Kazia vote and they don't even know where to put those marbles. Neither more the ballot paper. When you go and see the Jarankas, they cannot identify pictures, and then you start giving them ballot papers to select their own candidate and put it in that white box that we normally see in other countries. I think it's important we maintain our marbles as they are well recommended worldwide, and people are praising our marble. They are a very good way of doing our elections. So let's maintain those marbles and introducing these ballot papers. Honorable Speaker, I might differ with others with regards to the issue of the fees. Yes, we want everybody to be here, but at times, let's look at the president's passé. You want to be head of state of this country, and you are a poor man like Sir Saab. Even to look for your deposit is a problem, and you still want to head. You want to lead the country. Next minute, what people start saying, Fanla Ameli, Kanda Amli, Kanda Fi. I think we need to look at things and then see what is possible to see, to raise the amount to a level where people are to compete in that position will be able to fulfill those bills. Some people want to be an independent candidate. They can come up with a figure, at least from, some are saying 1 million, but I'm in line with my brother here to say we raise it to 2 million. But our next, go to Senegal, how much are they asking? They're asking in millions. And yes, people are still contesting. Yes, people are going for the position. Let's look at the fees that we are charging. They are very, very small, to be honest with you. They are very, very small. Because looking for the position of National Assembly, they're saying $5,000. Now it is raised to $10,000. Even with that, I'm saying, and it is small. I'm suggesting we raise it to $200,000 if possible. For the position of a mayor of a whole area, you're talking about $6,000 for the position of mayor. That $6,000 is very small. At least raise it high, because being a mayor is not a small area that you are heading. So let's look at the amount that we are charging, not to see the positions as position that is just easy to go or easy to ride on. Let's look at things properly, and then I guess on this thing, on the figures. Honorable Speaker, I think not much to say until we come to the committee of the whole House, because there we can look at things properly and then see. But I have an issue here that I'm a bit confused. I want the mover to help me. Clause 42(2), nomination of mayor or chairperson be reduced from not less than 100 votes to not less than 1,000 votes.
Thank you. I now give the floor to the member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Joint Committee, Regional Government, Land, Ombudsman, IEC, Human Rights and Constitutional Matters. Honorable Speaker, this report is a very important report. Honorable Speaker, we should have said this in our local language, to be candid, because this really affects our electorates. You know, we should be very careful. I don't want to name a country. We once went to a country where we meet with, you know,
James muna sino tara James. Ini dong gak suka sino lah. Ini sudah buat. Kita ini
James, stop sleeping. Right, but you go. Huh? You don't sleep the whole night. Like you know I'm sleep. So? Yeah, you go there. I don't wear no smoke, I look like no smoke. You got everything we have to keep on. But, look, assembly. But I'm going to let you do it.
Mayan ko.
And then cover it because meeting that person never be right.